senior.
I'm Alex Strude, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Brandon Chiazza, I'm a freshman.
I'm Jackson McCall, and I'm a freshman.
So we spent the past 2 days thinking of ways to improve Malvern and came up with the A.B.L.E project, allowing Brotherhood and learning to expand. So take 30 seconds or more and think about a time, go back in your life to a time when you had an idea. You probably thought it was going to be a great idea, could have gone somewhere, but you didn't really know who to go to or where to go to. So just take a second to think. How'd you get through this? Would anyone care to share?
Try to seek out others who might be able to help and support you with that.
Okay. Anyone else?
Worthwhile idea. See if it was a worthwhile idea to check it out. We'll do diligence.
Yeah, so we thought about the same thing, and we came up with reaching out to professionals along the lines of both what you both said. And so that's what A.B.L.E involves. It involves learning in a new style and learning in a new way that takes real-world problems that we all experience and implementing them through working with others and collaborating to share the ideas that we all have. And this will help to expand the brotherhood that we share in Malvern and around the world that other people share as well. So the main part of our idea is to go into a field and learn by doing what we love. And Jackson.
Our idea would involve removing permanent teachers and learning through assembly-style learning, where professionals or just people who are passionate about something come and give Malvern students a presentation. This could open up a passion that the student was otherwise unaware of. And the students would break out and discuss or work on projects based on this problem or topic that the person presented.
So what this does is reveal options about future work for students. They go in and see a professional, hopefully about something that they feel really passionate for, would love to do after being in school, and they go into the groups, and then they experience and apply it through the professional to bounce ideas off and see what it would be like to be in that field.
Our vision is for in 5 years, professionals to want to come to Malvern instead of us seeking them to come, because they see the change that they can make when they talk to us. We learned from interviewing students of Malvern that they prefer to work in groups because they're not just learning from one person, they're getting different point of views from other students. So we want to create Malvern into a hub for brotherhood and the new learning experience. And we think that it can expand not only in the United States but to different countries. So this leads us to a thought that we could have multiple Malvern campuses across the world. So not only people in this area with the Malvern ideas can share them and learn about them, but anyone across the world can share the ideas that they have.
So our prototype is basically students would go into these assemblies and work with the speaker one-on-one in their groups. And it's basically like 21st century, like Chicago SAG with collaborating within the group. And then these prototypes are at the end of every other quarter for 1 week. In the beginning, they break down they do the assemblies, optional assemblies, there's many different ones, into which mostly interests you. And then you break off into your groups and work on that for a week, and then try to find problems and you try to fix them. And we were thinking that the best one, they would actually go on another week project with that person and actually go deeper into the topic. And these are for grades, not through draw. And we have the idea of increasing brotherhood. So, but is there any further thoughts on how to improve brotherhood? Anyone can share.
Can you clarify that question?
Sure.
So you heard how we want to expand Brotherhood from not just Malvern, but there's people around the world who share the same ideologies, like the other group talked about, of truth, unity, love, and they want to see those flourish in the world. So our goal is to try to expand how we think and collaborate with other people who think the same, whether that's building schools in other countries and kind of unifying everyone in that brotherhood, and then our question is, how do you think that's the best way, and how do you think we can expand that, starting from where we are now into 5-10 years ahead, getting to that point?
Understood. My comments would be that, you build it and they will come and do what you said you were going to do, because I've told my children and associates that through my 16 years of higher education, I learned 3 things. And that was how to get along with people, how much there was that I didn't know, and how to learn. Through your process there, you're going to accelerate that monumentally by bringing in people who are already in the world doing what they do. And if you can build that model and grow from it, your brotherhood effort people will come to you, and it will build on itself. And I think it's a great idea.
I got a follow on to that. Tying into that and the idea of the satellite, if you would, Malvern campuses. A lot of Malvern students graduate and move across the nation and across the globe. So the idea that you have satellite Malvern campuses or virtual campuses, I think is in the right direction, because you can go move to South Carolina and there's no Malvern Prep campus per se there, but if you can figure out a way and geographically build these satellite Malvern hubs or campuses, I think that's the way to globally expand the values and what the other previous group said as well too. Sure. Kind of like what other universities do on a global scale. They take their core stuff, they can't have campuses everywhere, so they build these virtual ones. So you guys are on the right path.
Well, just as going to the question of how to increase the brotherhood, I mean, if you're talking about you're starting, you kind of have to start small and then kind of expand. I'm wondering if you could, if this is kind of in addition to the school day, or you're talking about these being kind of pockets of time in the school year, I'm wondering if you could bring then, maybe, some urban, you could connect with some urban schools, and you don't have to go too far to get a completely different cultural, experience and perspective. If you could bring students from those schools into these learning group, lectures, and then have those students participate with you, the Malvern students in the breakout groups, and so maybe some schools would be willing to have their students come out here for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, definitely. We talked about expanding it from a week to eventually being a full quarter of the school year, or 2 quarters, depending on, and making the projects. As the more people you have and further around the country you're spread, the longer they have to be and the more impactful it can have on more people.
And it doesn't sound like it would necessarily conflict with curriculums, different curriculums. So you're talking about something that's outside the actual school curriculum.
Right.
Are you talking about something outside the school curriculum, or is your vision to incorporate the school curriculum into what you've described?
We would try to incorporate as much as we could, because say if someone's interested in biology and they went to see a biologist, and for that quarter they worked with a biologist and maybe went to and saw them at their job, and etc. They could, in the process of that, they would be able to learn how to work as biologists and learn the things that they're involved with. So I'm sure some of that would be in the syllabus. Of course, it can't all be in that, especially if you're studying for an AP test or something. But I believe it would work, that you'd be able to get enough in the syllabus that it could fit into a quarter of the year, or it would be able to be worked in the school year.
Good answer.
Similar to college internships?
Yes. But through school, because so many people.
Or independent studies.
Studies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you.